Today I want to talk about 4 tips to change your finances completely. And this video is more geared to people who are under high interest debt right now, under credit card debts, under high car loans, struggling to pay their bills, less than $1,000 in savings. This video is for you. I used to be there. I had $12,700 in credit card debt. And this is what I did to help conquer my own financial challenges. First thing, track all your expenses. Anytime you want to do anything in life, you got to track it. You got to write it down. You got to look at it physically to know where you're at. So if you're trying to lose weight, you got to track your calories. You got to see how much you're eating. It's just simple as that. It'd be even better if you could see how much you're working out. Okay, so you can track your total daily expenditure, your TDE. Same with finances. You got to know what's coming in and what's coming out to the penny to fix your current situation. Okay, because if you keep on just going with the flow, you're going to flow into these advertisement traps. You're going to fall into these social traps. Social proofing is a big influence on us. For example, track all of your expenses, how it related to me in a way that was not in finances. This is how I beat my finances, but I also used it when I was in wrestling, okay? I had everybody's name that beat me in my sophomore season. I had written them down during the off season, and I went through and I checked them all off. I had goals that I wrote down. I had kids and young adults, 18-year-olds name written in my closet when I was 16 and 17 years old. And I was going down and I was scratching them off. And that motivated me, and seeing my progress gave me a second wind. When you track your ins and outs and you see, I used to be negative 100 per month cash flow, and now I'm even positive 50, positive 100, that will build a momentum mentally within you, okay? Use cash whenever possible. So this book right here, Ramit Sethi, he recommends using credit cards. Like, he uses credit cards personally, but it's even his line to say, don't over-optimize. So I was $12,700 in debt from credit cards. I paid it all off. I started using credit cards again because I wanted to optimize my cash back, my mileage, my travel points, my thank you city points, all that. Okay? But I found out it doesn't help me, because mentally, when I see my bank account staying the same number after I made a purchase, it doesn't incline me to say, hey, I need to cut back on this spending. So if you're in credit card debt, do not use your credit cards, okay? You got to put them all in a drawer. You got to put them all up until you're ready. It doesn't matter what your cash back percent is, what your points you get. You got to stop using them, because you've proven that you're not right to use them yet, okay? And then maybe at the end of this journey, you realize, like I did, you don't ever want to use them. 5% back is pretty much the highest you see on any credit card. And 5% is not that much. I'd rather just save $1 than get 5 cents back. So that's what I got on 2. Read books and grow your willpower. These are some of the books I've read. Physical books, I got audio books as well. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Dave Ramsey, The Total Money Makeover. Highly recommend this book. This book will talk you step by step how to cut back your spending, how to budget, how to reel it back in, okay? Psychology of Money. This is a good book because it tells you about, it may make financial sense to not pay off your house early, but the certain pieces that we get from having savings in the bank, from having paid off things, it gives us a mental peace and a mental clarity. And that's so valuable. It's more valuable than tangible things, just to have that mental peace. I read David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. That will train your mentality. And the reason I say all these things is because we need to reprogram ourselves. I read this book called Influence. It talks about how powerful social proofing is for us. Whenever we see our friends and family, our closest 5, we've heard that say your closest 5 is the man you will be. That showed me how controlling influences are. So the way they say that, so when we see somebody driving too fast on the road. They're driving 120 on the road. They're getting there as fast as possible. It makes logical sense. But after we see somebody get blown up, we may think to ourselves, oh, maybe that's not what I should do. Whereas when we see everybody smoking cigarettes, or we see everybody drinking, we see everybody doing these vices, we are more inclined to do it because we're seeing everybody else do it. Even if you think that you're not a person that follows your leader, if you're around these people, if you spend so much time around people who aren't achieving things you want to achieve, you are getting subtly programmed over time. So that's why I say reprogram your brain by reading books. Next, Big Dave right here. I'm gonna pull him back up with the snowball method. If you're under debt that's higher than 7%, list all your debts from the lowest balance to the highest balance. Not highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. That makes some more mathematical sense. And I'm a mathematics guy. But I promise you, the mental boost you'll get, the clarity you'll get from paying off your lowest balance. And I've done this with my finances. I've done this with other finances, people's finances as well. Whenever you pay off the lowest balance first, you start to get an adrenaline for financial freedom. You start to get an adrenaline for paying off debt and being debt free. So list your lowest debts to your highest debts, balance wise, not interest rate, and pay them off in that sequence. That's what I got for you guys today. Thank you so much if you stayed around to hear me. Appreciate y'all.